Welcome back to the College Hoops 2K Legacy Mode, everyone, featuring of course the legendary Coach Carter and his UT Martin Skyhawks. After a few tough losses early on in Season 5, it's been pretty much a breeze since. We blew the rivalry rematch game last installment to Belmont, but I mean, hey, we gotta look at the bigger picture right now. We're 7-3, including a 2-0 start to begin the conference play, and we're also throwing a softball to begin this episode. For the second time this season, UT Martin battles an 0-10 team, now heading back home for a chance to make it 3 straight conference wins if they can secure a win over the Governors of Austin Peay. Only one returning starter for the Governors, that is 6'1" point guard Kareem Hernandez, one of the better scorers across the entire Ohio Valley. The standings may look a tad different this year, as teams like Austin Peay that become so accustomed to competing, and also Morehead State and Stanford, you could say the same for them. They are the normal contenders in the Ohio Valley, but these three teams have a lot of turnover here in year 5. We're looking at potentially Eastern Kentucky, us again of course, and perhaps even Jacksonville State to be the top runners for the conference in this season. So let's hop into this game. Definitely a little bit odd not to see Austin Peay as one of the front runners in the conference. They normally finish around top 3, as of course the dynamic duo of Pierre Hamilton and Jacques Diggs get on the board. It seems like Diggs is always starting us off with a bucket. As those two hook up again, Diggs is the leader in points for us pretty much all season long, 17 per clip, and that's third in the conference as Austin Peay sets up shop. Kareem Hernandez goes one-on-one against Pierre Hamilton, gets him a little out of sorts, and he's got plenty of range behind his jump shot. Last episode, we saw an 0-10 Murray State team hang very tough with UT Martin, although the Skyhawks eventually sneaked out a win. Let's see if Austin Peay can pack that same punch. Meanwhile, Jacques Diggs makes three-pointer number 2 in as many minutes, as consistency is never a problem for Diggs this season. That was definitely one aspect of his game we were asking questions about, as now Loughton records a steal, and UTM, we see them continuously piling on early on in this season. Loughton, our team leader in steals at about 1.4 a night, and Christopher Fay, one of the top big men in terms of points per game averaged across the conference, 12.5 a night for him. Now here's Tuat will pull. This one is ripped off the board by Chris Fay. Hamilton up to Diggs. Does he have another one in him? He floats one up. Oh, Jacques Diggs, a prayer is answered there. A quick 8 for the junior. 7-12 ball game. UT Martin trying to take control and maintain it early, just like they've done countless times this season. And now this one's dumped down to Luke Loughton, doing a good job breaking this zone pretty seamlessly here, as UT Martin has seen so much zone this season. They've really become accustomed to it. Now Austin Peay switches back to man. How about a pick and roll between Pierre Hamilton and Christopher Fay, as we need to talk a little bit more about Pierre Hamilton this offseason. His first time as a starter, 5 points averaged, 4.5 assists per game. He's about as solid as a pass-first point guard you're going to get. That's number 5 in the Ohio Valley in that aspect. Now 18-9, more subs check into the game. Loughton fires, no good, but Teron Gardner, you would be surprised to learn that he has risen to number 3 on the team in points per game. He puts up 8 a night along with 4.5 rebounds. He's in line to be a starter next season with the graduation of Fay. So that should be very interesting to see how he does with further, time in the spotlight. There's Rolando McCall with a 3-point bucket there. He's actually Austin Peay's top overall rated freshman. However, the Governors have a lot of work to do if they want to get back in this ball game. Nonetheless, we see Blaine Fry. He wants to take his man one-on-one. Definitely a mismatch there, as Gomes can't do much there to try to silence the 6'10 forward. Blaine Fry only averaging around 5.5 points per game here in his junior year. His scoring is down, however, he's making up for it with production in every other aspect, really. You guys already know how Blaine Fry operates, and there's a block for him too, his second of the first half alone. Diggs, 2 seconds, pulls up in the face of a defender, as Rick Gomes once again gets tagged by UT Martin, and heading into the locker room, we're well in control, 31-16. I talked about the Murray State game a little bit before. This one has not been nearly as competitive, as the biggest difference is the shooting percentages. We are coasting with a modest 60%, Austin Peay down below 30. We've been a little bit more conservative when finding shots than normal. We're taking more time off the shot clock, but it's really working well today. Jacques Diggs shot 4 for 6, leading the way with 10. Chris Fay was everywhere in the first half. He had 7, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block shot. Blaine Fry added 2 of his block shots, and the only player on Austin Peay that was above 3 points is 3-point specialist Kareem Hernandez, who has 6. Meanwhile, our 3-point specialist gets on the board to reach a baker's dozen. Jacques Diggs with 3-pointer number 3 on the contest. UT Martin still in control. They're still rolling in front of their home fans, trying to make it 3 straight conference wins to begin season 5, but that's the one guy we cannot leave open. Kareem Hernandez, the only Governor player in double figures, as Pierre Hamilton with a risky pass there gets it through to Blaine Fry. And not much longer after Hernandez's 3rd 3 of the ball game, we see Blaine Fry taking it coast to coast, being strong with it there. He chinned that ball, didn't let his defender get a chance at stealing it, and he goes all the way for points 5 and 6. That's exactly what you want to see for Coach Carter, and staying after it. Oh, let's buckle up, boys. Here we go. Luke Loughton with steal number 3, the team leader in that aspect with about 1.4 averaged on the year. Blaine Fry and Luke Loughton, they're pretty much the most timid guys in our starting 5, but it's nice to see them take control there on back-to-back possessions and be a little bit more selfish and score their 2 huge baskets to extend the lead to 16, as once again, this game has been incredible on the defensive side of the floor. Nice double clutch move there by Trayvon Baldwin, another solid freshman for Austin Peay. Nonetheless though, this has been such a great game to see in terms of the defensive side of the floor. If you guys didn't know, UT Martin, the #1 team ranked offensively in points per game across the conference, as Evan Schneiderman spots up a little bit long there. As here we see Austin Peay actually starting to make some moves here, especially on the offensive side of the floor. They get a little bit lucky here off of the deflection. Brandon Lennox, the underclassman, he will take it, do a little twirl after he saves that ball from going out of bounds, and stroke it from 3. So for the first time since the first half, this game is within single digits, as this one is now turned over by Christopher Fay, not able to handle that trap very smartly there, but Teron Gardner, who's been one of the better UT Martin Skyhawk players to watch recently, he will record the steal, and a perfect outlet to Jacques Diggs to get that lead back above double figures. Diggs once again is rolling. He's been such a joy to watch this season. As I was saying before though, it's been great to see the defense playing this lights out, just for the fact that we are around middle of the pack in terms of defensive points per game allowed in the conference. As you saw there, Jacques Diggs shot 2 free throws, made both. He'll take a 3 here now, no good, but Chris Fay is now on the glass, as he's done all day long, narrowly missing out on a 3-point chance. Nonetheless, you're seeing here the trend down the stretch, really doing a good job of pounding it inside and taking what the defense is giving us. We're seeing a lot more man-to-man as this game has gone on, and that's really been a big reason why we shot so many free throws near the end of this game. Great shot selection and a perfect way to close it out, as we improved to 3-0 in the conference. 60-50 is your final back at home, a win that we well were deserving of. Jacques Diggs led us with 18, a decent day for Blaine Fry. It's nice to see him score a little bit more than usual. Luke Loughton chipped in 3 steals, and Christopher Fay, if you guys saw last episode, you guys know the heat is rolling. 13 and 9, 4 assists, marking well in a lot of different categories. You love to see it against a team that doesn't really have anybody that can match up against Christopher Fay. So as we move on, let's head to some simulating. We got 2 games to simulate before we hop into the next one. Austin Peay, as you can see there, beating them by 10. We're now 10 and 3 on the year. Let's scratch that and make that 4 straight conference wins, 4-0 on the season, 87-79. It always seems like we're in tune for a high-scoring affair against the Southeast Missouri State Redhawks. Mitchell Lane led them with 21. They had 3 players with a dozen. But how about the big men play this game? Jacques Diggs a little bit quiet. However, having his back is Christopher Fay with 18 and 9. And look at this, Teron Gardner with 21 and 5. Like I said, he's jumped up to the 3rd leading scorer on the team. And how about a blowout win this time against Jacksonville State back at home? Christopher Fay only 1 basket shy of his career high he had back in his sophomore campaign when he scored 29 in a playoff game. Teron Gardner, not quite the same output, still put up a solid 6 and 6 stat line. Rashawn Martin was solid, and we're going to need him to be solid next time as well, because Pierre Hamilton was a little bit dinged up there. He sustained an injury. He'll be out for 5 days, aka 2 games, with a lower back strain. We saw Dusty Harrison have to jump into the starting lineup as Luke Loughton missed a few games last episode. He did really well. Let's see what Rashawn Martin has under the hood and what's in store for us today for another freshman starting. I'm sure Coach Carter and the fans of UT Martin don't mind at all. They all know that this bench is oozing with potential. Nonetheless, we head back on the road to take on Samford in an effort to try to make 5 straight conference wins. And of course, Seneca Lopez, 17.5 points, 7 rebounds averaged on the year. He's been possibly the best big man in the entire conference for years now, but Samford did have 8. Count them, 8. Seniors graduate last season, so a lot of new faces getting a large chunk of rotation time for the Samford Bulldogs this season, and they're one of the teams that may be taking a bit of a step back. We may not see Samford with their normal dominance. They were the first seed last year heading into postseason play, but it seems like the conference is kind of, head over heels, and not in a good way either, with all this change as Rashawn Martin, not too long after he checks in, already causing some havoc. Rashawn Martin's best aspect of his game is his 85 on-ball defense for a true freshman. Very impressive, and he already records a steal there. Let's make it back-to-back steals. Already with a 4-0 lead. Diggs, what a pass inside to Loughton. 6 straight points for UT Martin. Can't forget about Diggs' playmaking. He averages 2.5 on the season, as he was actually recruited as a point guard. And here's Seneca Lopez charging his way back up the other way. 6 unanswered points for UT Martin, but if Seneca Lopez can get going, it won't be too much longer before he changes the fortunes of Samford so far. 17.5 points, the senior Seneca Lopez, one of the most well-known players around the entire conference. 8-4 ball game as the first bench player checks in. It's Dusty Harrison as he replaces his freshman brother in Rashawn Martin, although he has been playing pretty well. There's Jacques Diggs with another beautiful pass going high to low there. That's how you beat that 2-3 zone. 10-6 ball game, under 10 minutes to play here as Jacques Diggs tries his luck from downtown, a little long there. Nathaniel Tanner, the new starting power forward for Samford, collects the rebound, and look at that fast break run perfectly there. Saquon Washington, the new starting point guard for Samford, he delivers a beautiful pass to backup center Brooks Rothman. 13-10 now as Diggs will try from the same spot. This time he tickles the twine. No problems. Jacques Diggs has half of our 16 points. And once again, just another stellar defensive effort by Coach Carter's boys in black tonight. Only 13 Samford points, and we're approaching 6 minutes to play in the first half. Seneca Lopez again is off the mark. What a stand that time by Teron Gardner. And then look at the trailer that he is found by Rashawn Martin for assist number 2. So far, it's been a really strong first half by the freshman, making his first collegiate start. Samford not giving up on their franchise players so soon. You see Jabari Fowler here will feed the post inside to Lopez, as it's just a little post hook. He draws the bump from Chris Fay, and this is the first time we see Fay in some foul trouble in a little while. We all know it's been a huge part of his year 5 campaign, but so far in this episode, simulating and in the ball games we've played in, no problems for him in that department. Now we see another beautiful pass by Rashawn Martin. Luke Loughton with basket number 2 as the lead extends to 7, now back to 5 after a Brooks Rothman layup. He's their top scorer off the bench, but look at this right here, Rashawn Martin. He will let it fly from the corner. And Martin, not much of a three-point shooter. That's by far his worst shooting attribute at a lowly 63, but looked pretty confident there. And now Luke Loughton forces the turnover. Rashawn Martin's leaking out, and despite standing at only 5'8", he makes up for it with bunnies as he jumps over Jabari Fowler to deliver a thunderous jam. Didn't know he had hops like that. Going into the break, UT Martin up 33-22. UTM has only allowed 39 first half points on defense this episode. Unreal. Rashawn Martin, you saw his dunk there. He's playing a whale of a game. 6 points, 4 assists, and setting the tone on defense with a lot of deflections. Diggs has 8, but only shooting 3 for 9. Fay and Fryer having okay days on offense, but digging in on Seneca Lopez. Only 9 points on 3 for 7 shooting for Lopez in this one. Now UT Martin with a quick 5 unanswered points. Justin Strahan looking to get things going. Seneca Lopez is sent back by Blaine Fry. His 3rd rejection. I told you they're towing in tonight on Lopez, and then they're making him pay on defense. Martin, nice feed inside to Christopher Fay. Put it in the book as a 3-point play, as Martin continues to enjoy a career performance. 44-26. This getting ugly pretty fast here in the second half, as now Dominique Cleveland will check in for Chris Fay, and I wanted to show a free throw there by Cleveland, a positive play by him because he's actually been very solid this episode. But we'll cut back to the press break where Dusty Harrison records a steal. Oh man, this press break has been deadly here against Samford, and you all know how tough it is to force them into mistakes. Nonetheless, it's been no issues for us tonight, forcing stops and turnovers, and Luke Loughton right there with one of the best finishes we've ever seen in his career. Now Jacques Diggs, look at this, it just seems like Samford is just out of it mentally. Diggs misses a free throw and it falls right into his hands. Works around to Evan Schneiderman and he's got a three-pointer now. 51-26, what a run for UT Martin as we are approaching 60 seconds left to play. Two walk-ons and Junior Galindo and Chauncey Cantrell check in as we dump this thing down to Dominique Cleveland. A little dish off to Roshan Martin, again confident on a jump shot. Once again, it's very surprising because Martin doesn't have much of an outside game in his repertoire. Nonetheless, he's still perfect from the field with a solid 10 points. And UT Martin wraps this game up with another incredible defensive showing. 64-37 is your final. We had three players in double figures: Chris Fay, Jacques Diggs, and Roshan Martin, the young gun, all making their presence felt tonight. 10 points, 6 assists, not one missed shot or turnover from the freshman, as we still are looking for Pierre Hamilton's return. Chris Fay, once again, he had those two early personal fouls in the first half, but instead of what we saw last episode, he toned it down a bit and still played great defense on Seneca Lopez, and you see his box score right there, 18-2. That's about the best you can do against him. Some sour news here though. Roshan Martin with his first tough game in the starting lineup, 0 for 3 as we drop this game against Eastern Kentucky by 11, as we see here. And it seems like Eastern Kentucky, after not being a great team last year, if you guys remember early on in this series, they were in it every single year for that conference crown. It looks like they're going to make a comeback here this season as they beat us and hand us our first conference loss. Now Murray State, we take out our frustration a little bit on the Racers in a 15-point victory, 22-10 for Jacques Diggs in a career night. Once again, Jacques Diggs can't sleep on his playmaking, so we're going to end off this episode against Morehead State, the team that of course knocked us out of the playoffs a season ago. Morehead State, we've had some legendary battles against the Golden Eagles. However, this season they don't look to be as in sync as normal, as they had a lot of departures and graduations. That on top of Justin Slater, their leader in points per game at 20.8. He's actually going to miss this game, unfortunately, with an injury, which is kind of a shame. Of course, whenever you play a rival, you want them to be at full strength so you can really have bragging rights. But Slater, the 6'10 senior from Westland, Michigan, he's going to be out for a couple weeks with a strained Achilles. Morehead State only 7-12. Once again, like I said, this might be more of a retooling year for the Golden Eagles, as right now they are below 500 in the conference, and right now looking to get things back on track. 6'8" junior Kyron Childs, haven't heard much of him in his career, but he's going to be stepping in the absence of Justin Slater. But a lot of young talent on this team that I like. Eric Figueroa starts at the 2 guard for them this year. He's their top-rated freshman at 70 overall. UT Martin with a pretty stellar home record, only losing 1 game so far on the season at the Skyhawk Arena, as look at Derek Goated pulling from 3. Goated has really turned into a solid point guard in the conference. A very interesting blend of facilitating and three-point ability by the 6'1 junior. Now he delivers a pass to Phil Barton. Look at this. The Golden Eagles shooting the lights out so far. We all know they were one of the better three-point shooters in the conference a season ago, and despite their losses, they're still jacking up threes and making quite a few, as Pierre Hamilton will feed the post. Nice behind the head pass, as Chris Fay will go across the key, delivering a nice feed to Jacques Diggs. As we cut the lead in half there, Diggs, of course, coming off his career performance, 22 points, 10 assists against Murray State to get us back in the win column. 6-5 game now. It doesn't really seem like there's many players who can cover Chris Fay, but instead he will work this one around to Pierre Hamilton, and he, out of all players, delivers a jump shot to give us our first lead of the night. Hamilton was really bad in terms of efficiency last year, shooting the basketball only around 29% from the floor, but this year he's just a tad under 50%. Love the improvement he's made since making the jump to the starting lineup. Now up 9-5, once again it seems like Christopher Fay is just overwhelming against Morehead State, especially without Slater. He seems like the only guy in the team who can give Chris Fay a run for his money on either side of the floor. 7-11 game, shot clock winding down. Jacques Diggs tries to bail us out, and he does successfully for his second made field goal and 3 simultaneously there. 20-12 now as we approach 7 minutes left to play. Some bench players check in for the first time, including the hot shot Rashawn Martin and Dusty Harrison, as there's Phil Barton for his second basket. Teron Gardner and, risky pass there to Gardner, but also Dominique Cleveland both check in as well. Nice floating pass. Man, Teron Gardner's been so good in every aspect. He delivers a nice feed to Dusty Harrison to get on the board. 9-point advantage for the UT Martin Skyhawks, but that one's ripped away. Derek Goaded takes it away from the freshman Martin, who got a little bit complacent there. 5 minutes left to go. Rashawn Martin wants it back, you can tell, but instead, Phil Barton will try to take things into his own hands. No good, but here we go. The play breaks down, and Phil Barton recovers nicely after having his shot rejected. Nothing too fancy for Morehead State, but you gotta like the grit that they're showing. They're really trying to stay in it here against UT Martin. Another solid defensive performance, but they only have 25 points for themselves to show for. Here comes some zone from Morehead State, and this ball reversal is orchestrated nicely by Pierre Hamilton. He has the pass to the assist. Luke Loughton sets up Jacques Diggs for his third trade ball, giving him a baker's dozen on the night. Now 34-23 as met with a double team is Blaine Fry. Now Diggs wants to return the favor to Loughton. That one's a little bit long, but Chris Fay rips it down from the board. He'll power his way back up with it for some second chance points. A lot taller than this Morehead State team. Their tallest player in the lineup is 6'8", TJ De La Cruz. We have 6'9" Loughton, 6'10" Blaine Fry, and 7' Chris Fay. So you can see the discrepancy on the glass, especially right there. 12-6, the rebound differential as we head into halftime up by 13. For the third straight game, Diggs is putting on a show and is our top scorer with 15. Shooting much better than the Sanford game we saw last time out. Hamilton posted 4 points, 2 assists, 2 steals in his return to action. Forgot to talk about him coming back into the starting lineup, healing up from his injury. And the Eagles are being out-rebounded by 6, really missing the presence brought by Justin Slater. So 36-25, Derek Goaded will survey the floor. Just under 14 minutes to play. Look at this ball reversal. There's Eric Figueroa who spots up. Nice pass by Kyron Childs, his third of the ball game. Of course, in Morehead State's offense, we've seen this every year. Their bigs are so good at facilitating. It's one of the reasons why their offense is so hard to contain. Now a couple of baskets unanswered for Morehead State. I believe this is 5 unanswered, and that's going to improve to 7 unanswered after Eric Figueroa puts Jacques Diggs into a blender. 8 points for Figueroa as the freshman is taking over this game to begin the second half. UT Martin wants to put their foot on the gas. They've done a great job of that here in the last couple ball games. Instead though, TJ De La Cruz, a big fella, will rip the pocket of Pierre Hamilton and take it coast to coast. What a play there. But Jacques Diggs will try to improvise something a little bit here, quickly back up the other way. A very inviting play by Chris Fay. He's up to 10. Is it just me, or does it look like Chris Fay got into the weight room a little bit last offseason? Because for his first 3 years, we never saw him use much muscle. It was mostly just finesse in the post. But this year, he's really showing off his arsenal of moves, and that includes using his muscle to draw contact and score inside. So that's something I really like. But at the same time, cutting back to the gameplay, Morehead State only trailing by 4. There's Blaine Fry's 11th rebound without any points in the ball game. But Dusty Harrison leads the break here, tries to hand it off to Chris Fay, but for the first time this season, we're really seeing UT Martin struggling to keep the turnovers down. Morehead State, they got UT Martin on upset alert, only down by a single bucket with 8 minutes to go. Of course, who else but Morehead State would make this game competitive? Now with only 7 seconds left to shoot, all 5 bench players in the game right now. A quick pick and pop between the 2 guards. Harrison to Martin for 3. Nice shot there by Rashawn Martin, who gets on the board. And there's another 3-pointer from a guy who on paper doesn't shoot it very well, but just at the time we need it. Teron Gardner's been a little quiet today for the first time in a while. Martin thought about it here too, but he makes a better decision, gives it off to Harrison as we work it inside to dominate Cleveland. He'll put his shoulder in a Childs, give it off to Schneiderman, who will drain another three-pointer. Gotta love the strides made by Evan Schneiderman. Bit of an unknown 2 seasons ago, had that redshirt season, but now he's playing a lot better on offense. This is a solid inbounds pass. A huge run for UT Martin to steal this game down the stretch. Jacques Diggs again for the 4th game in a row will conclude his outing as our top scorer for UT Martin tonight. He put up 20, had a third of our points, and we won another one. 60-52 is your final. We were able to hold off Morehead State. That made it very competitive, but the closest they got down the stretch was 8. Diggs, of course, led us with 20. Pierre Hamilton in his first game back was very solid, especially on defense. Blaine Fry almost out-rebounded Morehead State by just himself with 12 and 0 points, the most Blaine Fry stat line you're ever going to see. And Chris Fay once again was solid with 12 and 7. The freshman sensation Eric Figueroa led Morehead State in points tonight. 8 and 1 in the conference. Our only loss, our only blemish was that L to Eastern Kentucky. But other than that, we've looked so dominant. This must be the year that we can make a long run, not only in our tournament, but in the March Madness tournament as well. And I mean, hey, maybe this is the year that, you know, maybe we accomplish all we can. Maybe we sweep through the Ohio Valley and we dominate in March Madness, make a big run to at least the Sweet 16. Maybe this is the last year of UT Martin Skyhawk hoops with the way we're playing, but we can't get too ahead of ourselves. We got to continue to stay focused. And right now, it's just looking so good. We control our own destiny at this point. We have the lead by 2.5 games, and we're approaching halfway through in conference play here in year 5. Nonetheless, I appreciate you guys stopping by. I'm gonna have more videos coming up soon. I'm just in the middle of a move right now, so it's been a little bit hard to get up content. Been really busy, but if you guys stay patient, I'm gonna have more UT Martin, more Road to NBA 2K basketball coming up soon. I got really high hopes for this UT Martin season, and I can't wait to try to find a new job offer at a new school if we make a deep run in March Madness this season. Thanks for stopping by the channel today, everyone, and stay tuned for more content here on College Sports Survived.